This video was produced to offer a rigorous academic analysis grounded in international relations, intelligence security, and political psychology of the structural factors currently undermining South Korea's security posture and diplomatic standing. By setting aside conventional political narratives and superficial media coverage, this lecture aims to illuminate the stark realities of alliance, dynamics, and international power politics. Lecture essay, The Realist Reality of Alliance Dynamics and Diplomatic Isolation. 1. Intelligence security as a prerequisite for top-tier alliances. A pervasive argument frequently surfaces in public discourse. South Korea's non-inclusion in elite security frameworks such as AUKUS or the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. Quad stems primarily from its non-Anglo-Saxon heritage or inherent national power limitations. From an international relations and political psychology perspective, this premise is fundamentally flawed. Dismissing formalistic pretexts reveals a harsher reality, a breakdown in institutional trust and deep strategic divergence. In modern warfare and high-tech defense integration, intelligence serves as the foundational currency, far surpassing hardware alone. Cases involving restrictions on satellite intelligence sharing by the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, offer critical, empirical evidence. They indicate that Allied intelligence apparatuses assessed structural vulnerabilities and intelligence leaks within South Korea's institutional systems. No nation transfers game-changing capabilities such as nuclear propulsion, technology, or quantum computing infrastructure to an actor whose security protocols present risks of exposure to adversarial powers. 2. The mechanics of AUKUS and Quad. Reliability and strategic alignment. While the Five Eyes alliance inherently shares deep historical and linguistic ties, framing exclusion purely as Anglo-Saxon exclusivity misreads the strategic landscape. Had South Korea demonstrated unyielding intelligence, integrity, and absolute commitment to U.S. led regional architecture, deep integration through mechanisms like AUKUS Pillar 2, joint advanced military technology development remained viable. The ultimate cause for exclusion lies in the perception of South Korea as a volatile actor prone to policy shifts across administrative transitions. Similarly, analyzing South Korea's position regarding the Quad requires examining the failure of, quote, strategic ambiguity, the failure of economic security decoupling, the long-standing diplomatic doctrine of balancing security with the U.S. against economic ties with China. Anmi-gyung-jung is obsolete within the contemporary bipolar structure, as Washington demands unequivocal commitments to counter hegemony. In the Indo-Pacific, hedging strategies erode credibility. While Seoul hesitated, Quad solidified around Japan, Australia, and India states demonstrating unwavering alignment. South Korea was not omitted because Quad counters China. Rather, it was never evaluated as a core candidate due to a perceived absence of strategic resolve. The shift toward Japan as regional linchpin. The United States has fundamentally re-anchored its regional security architecture around Japan, observing persistent political volatility, anti-Western rhetoric, and institutional uncertainties surrounding military command arrangements. In Seoul, U.S. strategists adjusted their baseline assumptions. The resulting regional posture prioritizes Japan as the primary strategic base in Asia. Korea passing reflects not emotional neglect, but a calculated realignment, removing uncertain partners from core operational structures. Applied case analysis indicators of strategic isolation. Recent reports highlighting U.S. trade policy maneuvers under Section 301 and South Korea's omission from ministerial discussions on transnational extreme left terrorism hosted by the U.S. Department of State provide concrete test cases. Domestic narratives attempting to explain these developments as mere artifacts of U.S. internal politics or ideological preferences. represent a classic cognitive dissonance. Viewed through structural realism, these developments signal a transition into an active execution phase of diplomatic and economic pressure. Case 1, accelerated, Section 301 proceedings. The rapid deployment of Section 301 investigations signals the withdrawal of customary economic leniency extended to security partners. Unilateral economic recourse, Section 301, functions as a potent instrument for imposing retaliatory tariffs against practices deemed unfair. Utilizing this mechanism under compressed timelines indicates an intent to generate direct economic leverage, impacting core export sectors such as semiconductors and automobiles. Termination of security economy decoupling. Historically, diplomatic frictions and economic arrangements were managed in separate channels. The current posture demonstrates that broader strategic disagreements now directly spill over into commercial and trade relations. Case 2, exclusion from high-level security consultations. Exclusion from State Department ministerial talks regarding transnational extreme left. Terrorism carries distinct diplomatic weight, signaling ideological friction. This exclusion indicates that key policy channels view the political environment in Seoul as either indulgent toward or politically aligned with radical elements. The inability or unwillingness to manage domestic actions targeting diplomatic personnel undermines the institutional trust necessary to coordinate on counterterrorism. Broader diplomatic spillover, omission from these consultations, demonstrates that exclusion patterns initially observed in military technology, AUKUS, and regional strategy, Quad, have expanded into standard ministerial-level diplomatic engagements. Attributing these institutional exclusions solely to domestic political dynamics in Washington masks systemic diplomatic miscalculations. Ministerial invitation lists serve as direct metrics of alliance, trust, and strategic priority. When an administration relies on domestic political justifications rather than addressing structural fractures, diplomatic isolation moves from a theoretical risk to an operational reality. To conclude this analysis, we ought to reflect upon a timeless maxim from classical Eastern philosophy. When a state fails to cultivate genuine trust while relying on superficial rhetoric, it invites its own ruin. When an alliance lacks shared resolve, outward treaties become nothing more than dust. The present state of affairs reveals a profound failure to grasp this ancient truth. By mistaking diplomatic indulgence for permanent alignment, ignoring fundamental security protocols, and offering self-serving rationalizations, while core alliances fracture, the current trajectory demonstrates not strategic sophistication, but historical blindness. True security is built on unwavering integrity and shared resolve, not on hollow excuses offered while the foundation crumbles. If you found this analytical breakdown insightful and wish to explore more core analyses of international relations and security politics, please consider clicking the subscribe button and turning on notifications. If today's content was helpful, please give it a like and share this video with others to spread awareness of these critical geopolitical realities. We also welcome your valuable thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you.